America's farms are failing. In 2025, large stretches of farmland across the U.S., places that once fed not just the nation, but the world, are sitting still. Silent. Some are abandoned. Others were literally set on fire to cut losses. And no, this isn't a drought story. This is financial collapse. American farmers are walking away, forced off their land by debt, rising input costs, and an economy that doesn't care if your crop was good, because prices still don't match expenses. According to the U.S. Bankruptcy Court, farm bankruptcies jumped 55% in 2024. Net farm income? It's fallen 24%, from $159 billion in 2023 to just $121.7 billion in 2024. That's with decent harvests. Imagine what happens in a bad year. In states like Iowa and Kansas, farmers are swapping out wheat fields for cattle ranching. Why? Because livestock is more predictable. Fuel, fertilizer, and seed prices have shot up, while wheat, corn, and soybean prices stay flat or fall. According to the Wall Street Journal and Guardian, it's a recipe for disaster, where even bumper crops don't cover costs. So, what could this lead to? According to agricultural economists, this signals a slow, systemic unraveling of American food production. If more farmers decide not to plant, the domestic food supply will shrink. This isn't a rural issue. It could spiral into a nationwide food security crisis. Groceries are more expensive and smaller. Now, this pain isn't staying on the farm. It's creeping into your pantry. Retailers like Kroger and Safeway report price hikes of 20% to 40% on flour-based foods. Some are shrinking package sizes, same price, less food. Sound familiar? Let me put it plainly. Middle-class families are now spending an extra $30 to $40 per month just to keep breakfast on the table. A box of cereal isn't just cereal anymore, it's a budget decision. And behind every empty shelf or price hike is a farm that didn't plant. No seeds in the ground means no harvest. No harvest? No food. It's that simple. Where could this go? Experts say it could force the U.S. to rely even more on imports, not by choice, but necessity. That makes us vulnerable to external shocks, price manipulation, and foreign supply chain disruptions. Canada quietly took over. Here's where the story takes a twist. While America's wheat fields go silent, Canada's are booming. Manitoba, Saskatchewan, they're running at full throttle. Freight trains packed with grain are heading south to stock U.S. shelves. Yes, the same Canada that America once slapped with 25% tariffs. Canada didn't argue. They adapted. They signed long-term deals with U.S. manufacturers, ensuring a steady flow of wheat. Pasta companies, bakeries, even fast food chains are now using Canadian wheat, not because it's cheaper, but because it's available. Spring wheat acreage in the U.S. fell to just 9.4 million acres, the lowest since 1970. Major producers like Kansas and North Dakota report double-digit output drops. Meanwhile, Canadian grain moves like clockwork. Their government-supported farmers helped with labor gaps and invested in transportation. What does this mean? According to trade analysts, it signals a long-term shift in agricultural power. The U.S. has gone from being the world breadbasket to a customer, and a vulnerable one at that. Working-class families can't afford breakfast. Let's bring it back to your kitchen. That bowl of cereal? It now costs 30% to 50% more. For families making under $50,000 a year in cities like Houston and Detroit, that price difference means skipping breakfast. According to Feeding America, some are skipping meals once or twice a week. Not because they want to, because they have to. Small diners and cafes that cater to working folks, students, construction crews, truckers, are either raising prices or shrinking portions. A simple sandwich now costs $1 to $2 more. Clinics in places like Florida and Texas are reporting more ER visits related to poor nutrition, blood pressure issues, dehydration, digestive flare-ups. Kids show up to school hungry. Adults show up to work exhausted. Productivity tanks. Rand Corporation estimates 3–5% drops in worker productivity due to poor diet. That hits not just individuals, but the economy. Where does this go next? Health economists warn that rising food insecurity, increases in chronic illness, healthcare costs, and reduced workforce performance, all of which could slow economic growth. Grocery shopping feels like a gamble. For many, grocery shopping has gone from grab what we need to what can we afford. People are no longer picking local or domestic foods out of pride. They're grabbing imports because that's what's left. And sometimes what's cheapest. Imported bread, foreign flour, even cereal made with Canadian grain. And here's the frustrating part many working-class folks are asking. Why didn't our system protect American-grown food? The answer? Outdated policies, late subsidies, and trade decisions that backfired. The U.S. now has just 1.88 million farms left, the lowest number in over 100 years. The USDA reports a 6% annual increase in agricultural imports since 2014. In 2025, imports hit $209.5 billion, a record. What could this lead to? According to supply chain analysts, this growing dependency could erode national food sovereignty. The U.S. may lose not just control over what we eat, but how much we pay and when we get it. We're losing our farming identity. Once, farming was a legacy, a pride, something passed down across generations. Now it's a burden. Fertilizer, diesel, seeds all have surged in price. Meanwhile, subsidies are late, inefficient, or tangled in red tape. The St. Louis Fed expects farm profits to drop another 15% in 2025. For many, farming doesn't pay the bills anymore. Some switch to other jobs. Others sell out. And those family-run operations, the heartbeat of rural America, slowly vanish. Empty barns, rusted tractors, dusty fields. What happens next? According to cultural economists, this isn't just an agricultural loss. It's an identity crisis. When farming becomes unsustainable, rural communities fade. And with them goes the fabric of national resilience and food independence. Canada